Hello, everybody! Bandicoot Commando here, and welcome to my brand new Let's Play of Savage Skies. Before I talk about the game, I have someone with me.
Iron Caliph, a local commentator.
Savage Skies. It was a game that was released back in 2001, strictly for the PS2, and as for why I'm doing this on the channel, well, part of it is that, much like when I did Outlaws or Silhouette Mirage, this is another one of these games I played a lot back in the day on my PS2. What makes it unique for me was that, A, I got it on my birthday. Of course, I got a lot of games on my birthdays, though. But B, this was my first rated M game that I ever played. And I was only like 6 or 7 years old when I got it. But hey, I'm a well-adjusted adult. So, before we get started, let me just look at stuff and fiddle around with things. None of this stuff I can mess with yet, until I unlock them.
Clearly enough, the first M-rated game I believe I played was Half-Life on the PC.
I thought Half-Life was rated T. Alright, no game is completed without knowing the basics. So, Savage Skies is basically a flight simulator type of game, except instead of flying on, jet fighters or whatever, you're riding on dragons and other flying creatures.
Yes.
So, and you mentioned how. Okay, so we were talking about this before we record. Is this the game you were talking about, or is it a different dragon flying game?
I believe this is the game I was thinking of.
Well, once we get into gameplay, you'll probably know for sure. Pressed X. Oh, there we go.
Welcome to the training grounds. Here you will master the art of controlling a flying creature and using it in battle against your foes. Before you are ready to engage in aerial combat, you must first learn to control your creature. We'll begin with walking, takeoff, gliding, and then landing. If you turn your left analog stick, your mount will turn in response. Now face along the ramp, and press the X button to spur your creature forward. Walk to the platform at the end of the ramp.
Just nice, base, simple movements.
Yes.
You're not really going to be on the ground that much, obviously, but every creature has its own unique walking animation, though.
Walk to the platform at the end of the ramp. Well done. To take off, you must tap the X button twice, quickly. Now you're airborne. To maneuver in flight, use the left analog stick. Follow the arrow in the upper right of your screen.
Your
To
compass.
slow down, hold the square button. This makes your creature flat backwards. To land, double tap the square button and release. Pressing or holding X or square afterward cancels the landing. Fly to the landing platform, indicated by the navigational arrow. To stop for a landing, fly low, then double tap and release the square button. Your creature will then stop and land.
Let me try again. Again, you don't really need to land that much.
Excellent. You've learned to take off,
Probably one of
maneuver,
those
and land.
specific
Now we'll
kind of
test those
situations.
skills. To reach the next stage of your training, you must fly through an obstacle course and reach its end before time is up. To begin, take off and follow your navigational arrow to the obstacle course.
Alright, if you hold X down, your creature will fly faster and accelerate. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yes.
Every creature has its own speed when it comes to flying and such, and this one is pretty mid. He's okay when it comes to speed and getting around.
You're making good time.
Well, I mean, I guess
Keep
this
it
is
up.
supposed to be like the starter dragon, basically.
Actually, he's more of a mid-dragon.
Your near the end.
Tight turns, sometimes you gotta let go of accelerate, sometimes you might need to take a little bump. But there's never really a moment where you have to go through tight obstacles like that.
You're at the end.
Yeah.
Now for a greater challenge. You must land on the raised platform. Remember, double tap and release the square button when you're over the platform. Outstanding. Your skills are growing already. Now that you have mastered basic flight, it's time to learn some combat skills. We'll start with a series of fixed targets and learn to use your creature's attacks on them. The R1 shoulder button triggers your mount's primary weapon. Try it now. Your enemies will soon learn to fear that sight. Now, try the R2 shoulder button.
To be honest, I think I'd be more afraid of the secondary attack.
You've just triggered your creature's secondary attack. Well done. Now, let's unleash these attacks on the targets laid out before you. First, take off, and destroy at least 4 targets using your creature's primary attack.
Anytime you're aiming at something, your target reticle will glow.
Yes.
Either be enemies or destructible objects.
Well done. Now, destroy 4 more targets with your secondary attack.
You might notice the bars off to the side there, the blue and the red one. The red one's your health, and the blue one's your energy meter.
Now you're ready to take on some live enemies. Fly through the tunnel to the arena, and let the battle begin.
Alright, now it's on to combat training. Vanquish all foes in the arena. We've passed flight training, now we need to put the flight training to use for combat training here.
Yes, the days of CD loading.
Yep. Alright, good.
Yep, there we go.
I was gonna say, the thing is, people, so I bought this copy like a few weeks back, and I did test it. I don't know exactly, if it's gonna work well for the entirety, but for the most part, it works fine, and I haven't really ran into many problems with it.
In the arena, you'll get your first taste of battling against living enemies. You'll also learn how to collect and use special weapons. The first wave of enemies has arrived. These will not fight back or avoid your attacks, so they should be easily destroyed.
Right. So, thing you should know with combat is that when you're aiming at enemies, because they're always going to be on the move, you got to lead your shots on. So be sure to lead your shots when it comes to projectiles like that.
Yeah.
And if you got a breath attack on your creature, you got to get up close enough to deal damage to it. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is.
Good work. You'll see that some power-ups are now scattered around the arena. Collect them before the next fight begins.
Oh, look at all that blood.
Very muddy.
Health power-ups heal your mount.
Yeah, when you pick up health and you're at full health, you gain a second health bar. That's why there's a bit of gold in the health bar there. And once you're at full health, yeah, you basically have, a nice amount of hits to take before you're depleted.
Yeah.
Energy boost. Energy boost prevents energy drain.
This is helpful because it means that I can use my attacks without the energy draining. If you double tap the X, you can quickly ascend. That also takes energy, though. And some creatures, like only the game manual would tell you this really, but some creatures have the ability to do barrel rolls or loops. This creature can do a loop. Ooh, little disorienting, yeah. But like I said, doing loops does use energy up.
Rapid fire! Haste increases the speed of your attacks.
It goes great with the energy boost.
Yeah. Basically turning you into a full DPS demon.
And then there's that.
4 times damage. Damage amplification increases your firepower.
By 4 times.
Yes.
And a shield.
Armor power-ups allow your mount to deflect some damage. Armor accumulates and is visible as shields to the right of your health meter. In time, you'll discover many more power-ups that will aid you in battle. More enemies are here. They will fight back, but not aggressively. Destroy them all.
Yeah, so now they're gonna fight back, but they shouldn't be too hard.
That's one good hit.
You made quick work of
And
them.
just burn them alive.
Now, pick up the mines at either end of the arena.
Honestly, the
Aerial
blue
mines
flames
and
just make
other
me think of
special
ice
Are
more than
selected
fire.
with the L2 button.
Because
and
it is
used
ice.
with the circle button. Drop some mines before the next wave of enemies arrive.
See, that's the weird thing is it doesn't really look like it freezes the enemies. Or I don't know if it's just because of the way I'm looking at it.
Oh, I'll explain that, but there is a little thing like that. So I picked up some mines. There's actually 3 different types of mines, but this is spike mines. They're your standard explodey kind. Enemies run into them and they'll take damage or die, but the shrapnel can also hit other enemies. So be sure to kind of place them strategically.
Here they come. These enemies are weak, but they'll fight harder than the last.
Yeah, and these guys are using fire. Ah.
You have one more type of attack at your disposal. Seekers. If you press and hold the triangle button while looking at an enemy, a magical seeker will target it. When you release the triangle button, the weapon will seek out that target. You can release more than one seeker at a time. How many depends on your level of advancement. Try eliminating the next wave of enemies using only your seekers. Seekers do little damage, but are good for weakening foes, or for clearing areas of turrets and ground units.
Yeah, you can only kind of release one at a time. Or in this case, I was able to release 2 at a time.
Congratulations,
works.
your training is complete.
Basically, you'll learn more and understand more as you play the game and read the manual.
Yeah.
And there you have it. So whenever you complete missions, yeah, you see there primary, secondary, the secret, and then there's the crystal. I'll explain all that in the next one. So once you're done with a mission, you can either restart if you want to try again with the objectives, or you move on, or exit in this case. So that about explains pretty much the minimum of how you do this game. More or less, you will discover more stuff as you play through, and you just learn as you go. Alrighty, so I think we're gonna stop there, though. Like, I would jump to single player, but not just yet. We'll do that at the start of the next one. So that will do for this episode of Savage Skies. Join us next time as we start the game proper. We're going to learn about the game's story and see what's up.
Alrighty.
Alright, so that is it. And I will see you guys next time.
Later.